How we doing? Good. I'm good.
JoeVardenCleveland.com. Is Kevin going to go tonight?
Don't know yet. Still waiting to get word. I've actually been upstairs waiting to get confirmation of whether he's in or out, and I haven't gotten word yet.
So he's in the protocol and he's got to pass like one last set of tests, maybe. Or
I
something,
believe so. Yeah. So just waiting to hear what the outcome is.
And then who are you going to start at guard?
Rodney will be in the starting lineup. As far as obviously George Hill, LeBron, and the rest after that don't know. A lot depends on what Kevin's situation is. Also, Jr. is ill. He didn't make shoot around this morning. He's been under the weather since being in Miami. We knew that he was, he's been under the weather, and he just couldn't make it this morning. So we don't know whether he will be able to play tonight or not. So I'm actually waiting to hear, whether he's in or whether he's out.
What does it mean for you to know that Ty is feeling well enough to? I don't know if is he actually coming tonight to observe? Has that been determined? For sure.
Yeah, I don't know if he's. Yeah, I know there's been some talk about that he may possibly be here. I don't know if that's 100% correct or not. But yeah, it feels good to know that he's feeling better. Actually, he and I had lunch yesterday, and Ty was Ty, but it was good to see that he's moving in the right direction, and it looks like he'll be back to join us hopefully real soon.
Was it a healthy lunch?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I took a picture of it. Yeah, no, he did the right thing.
Okay.
He did the right thing. Yeah.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Larry, going back to JR, he had that great game most recently. Is there something that you guys can do to bring more consistency out of him, or is the nature of his role and what he's asked to do on a nightly basis just one that it's going to lead to volatility?
As a coach, and this is, again, this is just my, this is the way I've always approached that type situation. I think for any player, there's a chance that they could go through, a rough spell. Certainly, there are certain things that can happen through the course of a season with a team that can change that individual's role. But I believe that you still have to find ways to try to get that guy going, and that's actually what I tried to do, with JR. We know what he's capable of as far as shooting the basketball. Hopefully the last game would be a good jump start for him. But I just try to, put a player in a situation, one that he's comfortable with, and two that he's familiar with. And there are times where, as a coach, you try and get these guys, get them going. If they get going, you try to ride them. To be perfectly honest, our last game against Charlotte, we had, and I say we, meaning our coaching staff, we had sat down and we had talked about the minutes for all the guys that would be playing. And we actually had a chart. We had a chart of minutes and who would go in at what time and who comes out. And JR completely he messed that up. Because he was playing so well, and so I wrote him. I wrote him. Pretty much. The time that he was in there. So I don't know. You try and get guys going. You try to put them in a position to where they can kind of get started and if he's back tonight, hopefully he is. It'll be the same approach. You're trying to get him going.
Marla Reinhauer, Akron Journal. JR doesn't have the same thing Green had, does he?
I don't know what he's been diagnosed with, but he did go to the doctor this morning, and they did see him, but I don't know exactly what the outcome was.
Can you tell us what Ty had for lunch?
It was a salad.
And one more thing. I mean, I know you were talking about the dog the other night with JR. I mean, can you ever see that becoming sort of a thing in the NBA?
As far as
Getting a dog for rehab for guys who are rehabbing.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I know. I was told that I believe JR has a couple dogs. You know, so I don't know. I think it's whatever works for every individual. Individuals are different, and what may work for one may not work for another. But yeah, I don't know. Man's best friend.
Greg Swartz, Bleacher Report. Coach, Kevin Love, when he's been healthy this year, has been terrific for you guys all season. Now you're going into the first postseason where he's the number 2 option offensively for the first time really since he's been here. How do you see his role changing, his workload, his usage? How is that going to change this year, this postseason, as opposed to previous years?
Well, certainly we're going to ride Kevin. Obviously, with LeBron, we depend on LeBron a lot, and we know with LeBron, he is he's the head of the snake. Kevin is a guy that we really depend on now with our situation from a personnel standpoint, and Kevin being the kind of second guy. We look to go through him a lot. Particularly in the post, because we know of what his capabilities are down there, and then he's a big man who's capable of stepping out to the 3. So we're going to ride him. You know, we're going to put ourselves in a position of where, we have to make sure that Kevin gets touches. And it's just unfortunate that he has to deal with the the injury bug the way he has this year. We get him back, and now he's under. The situation the other night where he got hit in the face, but man, we really, really depend on him, and even more so now, given what our current situation is from a personnel standpoint. So, man, we depend on him. We depend on him, and we're gonna ride him, and he knows how much we depend on him, and it's important that when he gets the ball, particularly down in the post, and we want him to score. But we also want him to make the right play out of the post if there is a double team, and he's committed to that, and we know again we need him and we depend on him, and as we wind down this regular season, hopefully he and along with everybody else can stay healthy, and we can move into the playoffs with a strong team.
And with all the injuries that you guys have had. Excuse me, especially with Love, is there ever a point as a coaching staff where you're concerned about LeBron's workload and everything that he's asked to do just because of all the injuries that you guys have had and with Kevin being out?
Well, at this stage of the season, you're always concerned about injury. I mean, you're winding the regular season down, and the last thing you want is for a key player to get injured at this point. With LeBron, certainly, yeah. As a staff, you're worried about it, you're concerned about it. But, Bron is just one of them. He's just one of those guys. He is so durable, and he's a guy. He wants to play. He wants to play, and we just have to stay the course of what we've been doing. As we wind this regular season down, and when Ty comes back, then he'll make the decision as far as. Do we cut minutes or even possibly sit him a game? But that'll be Ty's decision. But yeah, you're always concerned as you wind down the season, and you're preparing yourself for the next chapter, which is the playoffs. You're always concerned about injury, but you have to proceed as normal, and hopefully you're not faced with that situation.
Jason Lloyd, The Athletic. I was talking to Larry the other day about the way you guys used him, put him at the elbow and making passes and everything, and as a facilitator. He never really did that in L.A. So what was it that you guys saw in him that you knew that was something he could handle and thrive at?
You're talking about
Nance.
Larry.
Nance.
Well, Larry is. I mean, he's a versatile guy. You know, he's a very versatile guy. And from the games that I have watched him play, I wasn't quite sure of what he was and was not able to do. And just from having him, I see that he's capable of playing off the elbow. You know, I trust in he at, him at the elbow and being able to do the things that we need him to do, whether it's a pass off the elbow, whether it's a dribble action off the elbow. I trust in him as far as being able to execute the play that we need, and it's something that we work on. You know, we don't just put those guys in there during the game. I mean, during practice, we spend time and we go over everything as far as the execution part of it, the footwork part of it, and how the defense may play it. And I have all the confidence in the world in being able to execute the play out, off the elbow. And the thing about playing that type of action, I mean, you can pretty much put anybody there. You can show them how to do it, and you can show them the footwork and the basic fundamental of it. But we spend a lot of time in going over our offense and making sure guys are comfortable with doing it. And I saw in Larry that he was very comfortable in doing it. And the fact that when he's playing off the elbow, and if we execute the actual play off the elbow, that with him rolling to the basket, all you do is just throw it up there and he'll go get it. So there's certainly some advantages with having a guy like him at the elbow, and moving forward, we'll probably play him even more, at that elbow.
Jeff Shadell, News Herald. I'm not sure I understood your answer correctly. Do you think so? Will Ty be here tonight?
Yeah. I mean, there's what I was told. There's a possibility that he may be here.
And okay,
he will not be down in the locker room
or the bench. I mean, where would he be, and how difficult do you think that would be for him to just like sit there eating popcorn? Or,
I don't think he's allowed to eat popcorn.
Well, whatever. I mean, how's it difficult will it be for him to just sit there and not?
Well, I'm sure it'll be tough. But he's he's watched our games from afar, and I know he's itching to get back here. And he's talked to management here in the organization, and they've come up with a plan as far as when it's time for him to come back, how often he'll be around, and how they want to move forward as far as him getting kind of back used to getting back into the grind. And so they've already discussed that, and we'll see what it is.